Everyone knows Albert Einstein as the ultimate symbol of genius. We even call smart people Einstein in everyday conversations. But why him specifically? Out of all the brilliant minds in history, why does Einstein stand out? Was he really the smartest person who ever lived? Or are there others who might have been even smarter? Imagine we could actually look inside Einstein's brain. What would we find? Sounds crazy, right? But here's the wild part. It actually happened. Einstein wanted his whole body to be cremated after death. But a pathologist named Thomas Harvey had other plans. While examining the body, he secretly stole Einstein's brain. He believed it held the secret to his genius. He preserved it in formaldehyde, scanned it, and studied it in secret. For years, no one knew what he had done. Then finally, he went public, and other scientists joined in to analyze Einstein's brain themselves. So, get this, when scientists examined Einstein's brain, they found it weighed just 1230 grams. That's actually a bit less than the average human brain. But here's the twist. Some parts of his brain were thicker than normal, and the left and right sides super strongly connected. That might have boosted his creativity or intelligence in unique ways. Still, his brain structure wasn't exactly mind-blowing. In fact, it wasn't even enough to explain his genius. Statistically, Albert Einstein wasn't the smartest person on Earth. Shocked? Get this. He's not even in the top 10 smartest people of all time. Not in the top 100, not even the top 1,000. Yep, thousands of people have scored higher in IQ than Einstein. But wait, here's the real question. Is intelligence something we're born with, or can we actually develop it over time? If someone has a low IQ, can they still train their brain and get smarter? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And while you're down there, smash that like button. It helps us reach more curious minds. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on the bell if you haven't already. Let's get into it. Back to the big question. What's the average IQ for most people? Around 100. Drop below 70? That's considered below average. But hit 130 or more. You're officially in the very smart category. So, what was Albert Einstein's IQ? Roughly 160. Sounds huge, right? But hold on. There are people out there with much higher scores. Isaac Newton, estimated IQ of 190. Chess legend Garry Kasparov, a mind-blowing 194. Then there's Terence Tao, math genius from Australia. Got his bachelor's and master's degrees at just 16 years old. His IQ? 230. And don't forget, William James Sidis. Researchers say his IQ might have hit 250. At 8 years old, he spoke Latin, French, German, and even Turkish. Yeah, let that sink in. So, when you line up all these super geniuses next to Einstein, he's not even close to the top in terms of IQ. And yet, somehow, when people think of genius, they think Einstein. Why does Einstein still represent intelligence more than anyone else? Let's break this down step by step. When it comes to IQ, or intelligence quotient, here's the surprising truth. It's not a solid way to measure how smart someone really is. Popular IQ tests like the Stanford-Binet and the Wechsler scale, they only test certain types of intelligence. They don't reflect your full mental potential. Why? Because these tests focus mostly on things like attention, pattern recognition, and memory. You'll get questions like, remember these numbers, finish this sentence, and speed matters a lot. If you're not fast enough to answer, your score takes a hit. So someone might be super smart, but slow to process under pressure, and that means a lower IQ score, even if their brain power is off the charts. That's why IQ tests are incomplete. They give a slice of the picture, not the whole thing. Sure, quick thinking is important, but it shouldn't be the main rule for measuring intelligence. It's like judging a student's knowledge just because they write slowly. Doesn't mean they didn't study, right? Not all smart people think the same way. Some are geniuses with words, reading, writing, describing things like prose. Others, math wizards. They solve puzzles, crack equations, and build stuff from scratch. Then there are the visual thinkers, masters of color, space, and imagination. Different types of brains. different types of brilliance. So, what's the point here? Why are we talking about this? Because Einstein stood out in one specific kind of intelligence. He had this wild ability to imagine the impossible and connect the dots no one else could. He wasn't even that great at math. Yeah, he said that himself. He actually got help from his wife Mileva and his physicist friend Besso to do the math. But what made him legendary wasn't numbers. It was vision. Ideas that lived in his head only. Ideas so bold, he turned them into scientific theories. Sure, the Australian math genius Terence Tao might have a crazy IQ of 230. Yeah, he could probably outpace Einstein in pure number crunching. But that doesn't mean he was smarter in every way. Einstein had something different, a fearless kind of scientific imagination that blew minds. Take black holes, for example. Back in his day, people said Einstein blended science with philosophy. Because his ideas, they sounded straight up wild. In 1915, he dropped the general theory of relativity. It completely redefined gravity. He basically said, hey, space and time, they're one connected fabric. Then he rewrote Newton's 250-year-old law like it was no big deal. He backed it up with equations so precise they could track the orbit of planets. People thought he was crazy until 1919. That's when British astronomers Dyson and Eddington tested his math during a solar eclipse. And boom, it all checked out. Einstein was right. After rewriting gravity, he kept going. He predicted something called gravitational waves, and even imagined the existence of a mysterious cosmic object, the black hole. One big reason Einstein became so famous? His theories just keep proving themselves, again and again over time. His equations weren't just brilliant, they were trustworthy. Modern physics is literally built on them. And the real-world impact? It's massive. Take GPS, for example. The same tech in your phone right now. It only works because of Einstein's relativity equations. Yeah, without him, you'd probably still be asking for directions. But it wasn't just his science that made him iconic. Einstein was made for fame. The messy hair, the old clothes, that quirky smile, the legendary quotes, the way he spoke, even his sense of humor. It all made him the most beloved genius in history. And to this day, when we say genius, we picture Einstein. That's it. And hey, if you've ever had a random question pop into your head at midnight, drop it in the comments below.